Yes, the Beach Boys. And why is it that no one says that I sound like Michael Clark Duncan and everyone says that I sound like a Beach Boy?
No, I think you've got a very deep voice, Aaron.
Thank you. You're the only one. The customer service rep at Sprint doesn't think so.
Like, yes, ma'am. You're like, I'm a sir.
Ma'am, how can I help you with your phone account today? All right, so Derek, could you reiterate the point that you just made about insurance? Because I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, talking about the fact that insurance on an investment house, that everybody always knows about, that there's insurance to take care of the house, you know, when it burns down, different things like that. One of the, maybe not a greatest secret of insurance, but there is a pretty good secret that you can insure the income that comes from any commercial property, even one that's residential property that you're renting out. So that, you know, that exact scenario happens, and as you know, it happens a bit around town as far as that goes. In fact, you can't go a week without seeing a house somewhere in Indianapolis area burning down. So
like on Rookwood.
and so of course everybody thinks, well, the house burned down, the insurance company will come out and take care of the house. Well, with an investment property and with your personal house, it's just a little different how it works. They take care of the rental income when it comes to an investment property as well, as long as you purchase that coverage, that is.
Yeah, and and pretty much for the policies that we offer to our clients, that's built in, correct?
Yeah, that's certainly built in. Yeah, we usually do not exclude that unless they just tell me straight out, I do not want that. And I've never had somebody tell me that.
Yeah, why would they?
Exactly.
So Doug was mentioning control, and control is a huge issue with real estate that you don't have when you invest in a security. You know, with stocks, you are at the mercy of a board of directors, portfolio managers, and corporate executives, and you can't even distribute your own funds. But with real estate, you have complete control over that. Now, one of the other reasons why this blog mentioned that real estate trumps investing in stocks and mutual funds was options upon options. And with real estate, you have a ton of options, right, Doug?
Absolutely. And any property you buy, you can rent it out, you can turn around and sell it, you can renovate it, you could sell it on a contract to somebody so you get some sort of income while the sale's going on. There's all kinds of things you can do with it.
Yeah, I bought a house at the foreclosure auction in Marion County. It's actually in Fletcher Place, and for those of you who know, that's a fantastic historical neighborhood that's right there by Eli Lilly, just east of Lilly. And we were able to buy the property at auction for $7,000. And not only the house, which only needed about $10,000 to make it rent ready, but also the adjacent lot as well came with it. And this is literally a block from the Cultural Trail that's running down Virginia, new condos, new construction. I mean, easily home prices now are in the 150s, and they could be well above 200,000.
Surprised you got away with that price. That's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know how it happened either. So what I loved about the deal and why I mention it is because you have three phenomenal options with that property. You can, I could have sold it the next day to any number of clients that I know. I could have sold it to Doug the next day for probably $30,000.
Why don't you sell that to me?
That's all right.
Too late. It's not the next day, but let's talk.
Right, and that typifies wholesaling, where you turn around and sell a property to another investor, just like that. I could have gone in and refinished all the hardwood floors and put granite in and put a Viking stove and stainless steel. You know, maybe spend $60,000 in rehab and then put on the market for $175,000. I had that option, and the third option, which is what I elected to do, was to spend $10,000 on it and put a tenant in there at $800 a month, because I always regret the properties that I've sold. And some of the biggest regrets that I have are A+ deals that I sold because I needed the money or wanted the money, and you can't recreate that. And I think that, you know, that was like a 1 in 1,000 chance that I got a deal like that, which is why I've kept it. But you don't have that kind of flexibility with stocks and mutual funds, those kind of options. You either buy it, or you sell it, or you buy it, or you sell it, or you buy it, or you sell it. Those are your options. With real estate, you have a whole array of options, and that's why it's such a good vehicle. And actually, with insurance coverage, you mentioned that earlier, you have similar options, right there?
Oh, absolutely. And it really is up to the options of the real estate investor. You know, If you're wholesaling, you might not even take title, so there might not be a lot of neat reason to have insurance on that. But from rental, there's certainly one aspect to look at. If you're just going to fix it up and hold it vacant until you find that owner occupant, there's that option.
There's a policy for that? Yeah.
Right, exactly. There's as many options as there are ways to do business in real estate. There's that many options on insurance.
And really, isn't it, as you sit down with clients, isn't your objective to find out what option they're deciding, because then you can work backwards from that?
Absolutely, yeah. No, it doesn't do any good for me to just give say, here's the solution, now what are you doing? Yeah, we certainly go with the consultative approach, sit down, figure out where you are in your investing. You know, is this your first house or is this your 1,000th house? You know, where are you at in this? And what do you need, and what were you missing in your other relationships in your insurance, and move from there.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me, because I find that investors tend to be very dismissive of insurance. And I can only believe that's because they haven't had to make claims.
Yeah, trust me, a big claim always turns somebody around on their thoughts of insurance. I can tell you how many clients, you know, that are now clients, how many people I talked to originally when they started out their investing career, they dismissed me, said, no, I won't need that. And I know for a fact that over 50 so far, yeah, in the past, well, I've been in insurance for 11 years, so that's not a lot, but when you think about how long it takes for a claim to happen, have at least 50 clients where they came back and said, you told me that claim was going to happen, it happened, I got rid of my old guy, let's do my insurance on all the properties that I had.
Oh, good for you. And that's so true, because if you look at an investing life cycle, the probability that you have some catastrophic event, fire, you know, loss of job, you know, there's just any number of things that are insurable that you can get coverage for, but people take a short-sighted approach and they're about maximizing return. And I can tell you, and I'm sure Doug would agree, that over thousands of property experience as an owner, and certainly Derek would agree because he sees thousands of policies and their results, it just is one thing you never want to skimp on. You know, if you want to skimp on something, put cheap carpet in. You know, if you want to skimp on something, use cheap paint. You know, with your real estate investing, don't skimp on your insurance.
Well, and with that, it's probably more important to have a great relationship with an independent agent that's out there, because he can go out and he can look at all the policies that are out there, because there is a such thing as paying too much for the same coverage as well. So you need that expert on your side that can consult with you and say that this is a competitive quote. It might not be the cheapest, but this is the reason this is the one you need to go with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the things, or a couple of things that Aaron and I always like to focus on, we're talking to new investors and even seasoned investors, is there's a mindset that some folks have, and they look at cost as opposed to looking at value. And insurance is a value. I mean, although it's obviously an expense that you build into your properties, but you have to look at the value you're getting from that. And you've got wealth creation, and then you've got wealth preservation. And the insurance is wealth preservation. That's protecting you so that if something catastrophic happens, like a fire or something like that, or a flood, then you're protected. And you need to look at insurance as a value add to your investing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the third item that made the 6 reasons why real estate trumps investing in stocks and mutual funds was called "It's Not All Greek to Me." And they pointed out the economy in Greece right now, which is, you know, do we go back to the drachma? Do we drop out of the Eurozone? I mean, it's a train wreck. I think I saw a couple weeks ago unemployment is like 25%.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's
wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and underemployed, where, you know, they interviewed this tech guy, he had a double master's degree and he was working at a factory. When you it's like 50%. I mean, the economy is a train wreck. But I haven't noticed an impact of the Greek economy on Perry Township rental rates. Have you, Doug?
No, I haven't caught that yet. Shockingly.
Yeah, and you know, certainly national events affect rental rates and in fact insurance. And Derek, you were telling us before the show today that you're seeing some national trends that are trickling down to policies, and maybe you can share those with us.
Yeah, certainly. We're entering. We're entering into a dynamic and changing market. It's something where the market is not going to be the same as we were used to, where we see pretty steady insurance rates or pretty steady insurance guidelines. We're entering, in insurance talk, we call it a hard market, just meaning that we are seeing underwriters starting to get more restrictive. we are seeing pricing to go up. And this is influenced not just local underwriting, this is nationwide, if not worldwide, just due to reinsurers that do reinsure across the globe.
And Derek, to that point though, you've brought it up a couple times. I really want to focus on it for a second though. Is a lot of people perceive or their idea of insurance is you call it your State Farm agent or you call your American Family agent. But when you run into insurance as a competitive marketplace and people don't realize insurance is priced out, you know, it's not all milk, right? It's not all orange juice.
Right.
It's different, and that's what you can do. Can you kind of touch on that and explain to me how you shop for rates and all those things?
Well, yeah, a lot of that comes down to expertise and being in the market every day. If you're not in the market every day, and by that I mean the true insurance market, not I sell apples all day or I sell oranges all day. Be, you know, somebody that actually runs the produce department. They have all the different choices out there. When you sit there and you look at that and you start making rapport with your underwriters, that's where you're really going to make that difference and be able to shop that out. And really, shop isn't really the correct word. It's having that rapport. You know, our agency is part of the ISU network. We're the 6th largest brokerage in the United States. We have instant rapport when we call our underwriters and say what's going on. Now, it might be that prices are going up, and I'm sorry that underwriting restriction still stands. Sometimes that's just the way it is. That might be the reinsurance agreement that they have. But at other times, you want somebody with that clout that can go out, shop through the market for you, find the right fruit for the fruit salad you want, and get it taken care of.
Yeah, what kind of fruit salad do you like, Doug?
Mostly bananas.
No, and you know, every time Derek speaks, it reminds me how little I know about insurance.
I know. I was thinking about that too.
And with how much I do know about real estate, it highlights the importance of working with. I don't even like to say insurance agent. I mean, you know, an insurance broker,
right?
Like you are, because your typical insurance agent, like you just mentioned, can just offer one product. And someone with your expertise and experience goes out and looks at 150 different products and then picks the best one to cater to you. And you know, whether it's rent rates in Greece or you know, China test firing weaponry in the Taiwan Strait. One of the beautiful things about real estate is that it is resilient. And in the next segment, let's build on that, because I want to talk about an analogy that I heard where someone told me that the monthly rent always correlates to a loaf of bread. So we'll talk about that in the next segment. Stick with us. Derek will be here. Doug will be here on Real Estate Tips and Tricks. My name is Aaron Adams, and you're listening to News Talk 1430 WXNC.